Hi Best Buds, it's Cathy with Cathy's Garden, and I'm so happy that you joined me today. Today we're going to make this easy waterfall envelope tag junk journal. But first, let's have our shout out to Lucy. I received my happy mail and I want to thank you so very much, and I'm also so very pleased that you're feeling so much better. Vicky, Lisa, Lori, Patricia, Lullagamma, and Annie, I appreciate each and every one of you. So I wanted to show you what we were going to make today. What I'm going to show you how to make the structure of this so you can decorate it in your special way. It's very easy to do, and I'm going to show you just how. There's a little altered paper clip here that holds it together. And then we have our first little page here. We've got a little journaling page right here, a tag with a tab, and then we have another one in here, and then this is our next page, and right here. Now these prints right here are from Pink Monarch prints, and then the little embellishments like these and this, they're from Blossom Paper Art. Now this one right here holds a very large tag. I just took two tags and I glued them opposite from each other so that you can journal on both sides of that tag. So let's get right to how are we going to make this the easy way. So what you're going to need is you're going to need 3 envelopes. Now I have chosen to coffee dye my envelopes. You don't have to coffee dye your envelopes if you don't want to, but I just decided that, I love to coffee dye, so that's what I did. And this one right here is 9 inches by 6 inches. This one right here is 6.5 by 3.5. And this one is 5.5 by 4 1/4. Alrighty, so now we have our envelopes, and the next thing we want to do is we want to take this large one, the one that measures approximately 9 inches by 6 inches. We're going to be removing our little sticky flap here. Now maybe yours doesn't have a sticky flap. You just have to put a little glue on yours if it doesn't, and we're just going to stick it down inside of itself, and then just make sure that it sticks. Now I can see that my envelopes, not glued real well right there. I'm going to grab my art glitter glue, and I'm simply, sorry you guys, going to add a little glue right there. I'm going to check these others. These really are pretty good right here. Alrighty, so excuse me, let me see if I can get this frog out of my throat. Alright, so what we're going to want to do is we're going to take our larger envelope, and the end that has the opening, we're going to take that end and we're going to fold it into the envelope, and we're going to fold it over approximately, I'm lining my little papers up here, approximately 3 inches. So just give it a fold here. I'm going to go ahead and bring in my bone folder. If I can straighten this out here. And then you want to crease it very well. Alrighty, so now that's nicely folded. Well, kind of folded on itself right there. Let's see if I can fix that. That's much better. Alrighty, the next thing we want to do is we want to bring our other 2 envelopes in. Now if you take your envelopes and open them up like this, you'll want to take this fold right here and you're going to put it inside this fold right here. So simply putting the 2 folds together, and then taking the 2 flaps and folding them over. And you're going to look and see that even though this one is longer, it's shorter this way so that this one sticks out. So this longer, taller one is going to be on top of this one right here. This one right here was measuring 5.5 by 4 1/4, and this one was 6.5 by 3.5. So the larger one is on top of the shorter one. And you've got your little flaps right here together. We're going to go ahead and we're going to stick this inside here, so where the flap has folded right here on this folded area, we're going to stick it inside this folded area. Now, as we do this, as you can see, I'm off. This one isn't even, so I want this one right here to be as even, like enough space here, and there's the same amount of space here. It's still not quite right. It's not going to be perfect, guys, but that's what you're kind of wanting to do. You want to get it to look right. So you're even looking at the larger envelope. How much space is between all of it? So now we have a graduated area here, and it's kind of like a waterfall, right? It's just going down like that. Open it back up. You've got your flaps right here, right? We're going to need to glue these flaps down. So grab your glue of your choice. I'm using Art Glitter Glue, and I'm going to add my glue to my flap, just like this, and I'm going to glue it right down. I'm just making sure that it's getting stuck. Then we're going to take the next flap and we're going to apply our glue to it, and we're going to glue it down, making sure that it's still able to fold. You're able to still fold everything. Everything is still looking good. Checking it out as I go. So this one didn't get quite. It'll be fine. There we go. So you've got your base of your structure. Okay. The next thing we want to do is, in this piece of ephemera, our openings are going to be on the side. Now, using our larger envelope as the starting point of this project, we folded it over so that we already have our opening already on our first page. This one right here, however, doesn't have an opening yet. And you're saying, but Cathy, there's an opening here. We're going to cover, or you're going to cover this part up. Now I chose, I'm grabbing some of my little papers here, sorry. I chose to use my little tag that I purchased from Pink Monarch Prints. I chose to use these as my covering. So I made it extremely simple when I was decorating. I just rounded my corners, I inked up my pages, and I simply glued this on. Now, I did have to be careful when I did so that I only applied my glue to this area right here, because if I put it on this area, or if I put glue all the way over here, then it's going to get stuck, right? So let's go ahead and let's just show how this would work. Maybe I could make one that has more yellow in it. All right, so what I want to do is I want to round my corners just for maybe a little softer look. And then I would take my sponge and I want to just highlight it a little bit. Sometimes it's faster to do it this way. Highlight my edges like this. All right. And then let's go ahead and get this page right on here. So I'm just looking at it, and I don't want it to interfere with my closing. Remember, we're not going to be trying to get into it this way, but I think it's a little tall. You see, it sticks out a little bit right here. So I'm going to bring in my little guillotine, and I'm not sure, will it fit in here? It sure will. I'm just going to trim off a little bit, guys. I'm going to trim off, whoops, I didn't do a very good job. Trim off a little bit on both sides. I want it to fit, I don't know what's going on with my throat today. I'm going to get it to fit a little better. So as you can see, I have a little bit of my envelope peeking out from around my little picture here. And I like that look. Now since I chopped that off, I want to go ahead and I want to run a little bit of color on the edge. I'm going to take my art glitter glue and I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to glue right here on my page. Remember, I've allowed a little bit of my envelope to show through on the edges, so I didn't go all the way to the edge. And let's just lay this right over the top. Well, I still probably put too much glue on there. It's okay. We'll just wipe it up. We'll just wipe it up. I'm looking for a rag here. I don't have anything. This is not what I was looking for, but it will work. We're just going to wipe this off. Okay. Alrighty. Now, if we cut this, when we cut this end off, this is still going to be open, right? And we don't want that open because we're going to make a pocket on this side instead of this side. On this side instead of this side. So what I want to do is I'm simply going to add my glue right here to the inside of this little flap. Just run it along the side, and I'm going to close it up. So now this is completely closed. You're not going to be able to get into it from this side or this side. Now you're going to want to do the exact same thing to this one. And when you get over here, you'll just simply cover it up with a piece of paper, book page, whatever your choice is. I think I used another one of these tags and a little bit of some script on this end. Let me see. Can you hear my little puppy fussing at me? Let me see what she's doing. Hang on just a second. All right, you guys, I took care of Frankie Francine. Everything's fine. So you'll want to be covering up this area right here. You really don't want that to show. So you could use all kinds of different things to cover that up. Now let's address the part where we need to open this. So I am actually going to bring in, I think this will fit. No, that won't fit. So I'm going to have to bring in my scissors. Now you guys know that I don't think I cut very straight, but it's okay. We're going to go ahead and we're just going to cut a sliver off of the end of all of these pages that we've made with our envelopes. Now this is the one we made a pocket with. See, we've got a pocket inside and we close this up. Now you would want to do the exact same thing to this one. You'll want to cover this up right here. So here's one right here. Here's the yellow. I wanted to go with yellow. Now this one's too big for it, so I'm simply going to trim it off a little bit here. And let's see how that does. That's pretty good. I think that will fit nicely. Yeah, I do like that. And then, of course, you'd be taking something else and covering this up. So remember that we don't want to close up this. We want to make it a pocket. We don't want to totally close it up. So I'm only going, let me look at this again. I have a nice border. I'm only going to add the glue right here, like this. And I find it easier. I did it the other way when I was making my example. I put my glue on here and I glued my pocket shut. So I think it's easier to do it this way, and that way you won't accidentally glue your pocket shut. So just trying to position it a little straighter and then simply pressing it down. So you still have your pocket, just like that. So let's go ahead and let's cut off the end. So just taking a sliver and trimming it. So as you can see, it's just a little, well, maybe here. It's a little tiny sliver. I mean, it's so little you can hardly see it, right guys? It's just a little tiny sliver. And you're able to open your pocket. We have a pocket here, but no, that's not the one we did. This one. we open it up. We've got our pocket here, right? And but I need to close it because right now it's like a belly band, right? So let's go ahead and add, and I just find it easiest to just go ahead and add it like this, right into my little, well, if I can hang on to it, right here. Just add it right here. Just like that. Okay. And then crease it, or not crease it, but push it down so it gets glued. I'm actually going to glue this little edge right here on the envelope, right here. So now we have our pocket, and the pocket is on the outside. This one right here, we'll want to do the exact same thing, and we'll want to trim off the end of our envelope, just like that. And then you have a very deep pocket here. This is the big pocket right there. And you have got your base of your Waterfall tag junk journal that you can decorate it absolutely any way that you choose. I absolutely love making these. I think there'd be a great addition to a junk journal. Put it on the top, send it out in Happy Mail. The sky's the limit on these guys. So I hope you've enjoyed this, and if you have, please give me a thumbs up. I invite you to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video. I'll see you there, guys. Bye now.